The new ident was very American. The logo was the same, but it was now rendered as a sleek computer-generated study in perspex, tinted blue on a blue background, and flying in pieces out of an equally blue screen of some description. It's a channel ident, you're not really meant to be thinking about it very hard. All to a futuristic but cold, plinky-plonky, crescendo-y synthesizer tune with about a tenth of the charm of the old kaleidoscope theme. As before, the idents were identical, apart from the letters after W. It had a relatively short shelf life, though, as in 1989 ITV experimented with their generic look, to which HTV offered very little resistance. They kept the generic look throughout the early 90s, although eventually they did get fed up and stuck their own logo on top of it. They finally decided to ditch it in 1993, and following it into the bin was the aerial. After almost a quarter of a century's faithful service, HTV had decided it was time for a complete overhaul. Unfortunately, they got it wrong the first time out. Nothing wrong with the animation, apart from the fact that it's completely unremarkable. Ditto the new logo. It was the music that was the problem. An already fairly weak melody, buried under layers of ambient pads. It sounded like the work of someone who'd listened to a lot of Brian Eno and missed the point. The viewers, of course, didn't like it, but more importantly, because this is the 90s, who cares what the viewers think, the announcers didn't like it either, because it was really hard to talk over, having no particular beats or tone and a barely discernible crescendo. So after a couple of months it was changed to this. But it still wasn't the best ident in the world. Vagueness and ethereality were very much out of fashion by now. Plus everybody was sick to death of the colour blue. So after the requisite couple of years of service, they changed it again. This time making sure they got the music right first time. And lo, there was much rejoicing, for despite being a weird pea soupy shade of green, this was much warmer than the icy ambiguous previous ident. Unfortunately, not long after this ident was introduced, HTV Group were bought by Dalton. Unlike Central and West Country, however, HTV actually got to keep their identity. There was even another ident, which I think was the best of the post-aerial idents.
Wish You Were Here has worldwide holiday destination ideas for you in half an hour. It's now 6:30. This is HTV.
This gold and blue number was introduced in 1999. It was looming but friendly, powerful and confident. I like it a lot. The only thing that sucked about it was its timing. What else do we know was introduced in 1999? This seems as good a time as any to elucidate my opinions on the 99 generic idents themselves. They're very well designed, they're very well shot. The heart motif actually works really well. David Jeanson does his music, while inferior to his 1989 score for the same thing, is driving and assertive, even if it is a B in search of an A and a C, if you know what I mean. If these idents had been made for just the one ITV channel, I wouldn't have a problem with it. But if you're going to supplant absolutely every national ITV identity with your own design, then it better be a really exceptional design. And quite frankly, in this case, exceptional really needs to mean that the idents would fling £10 notes out of the screen at you somehow. Even that wouldn't help those of us descended from Catholics, we'd still just feel guilty. Wales being the Principality, though, they couldn't completely shake off regional branding, even if by the aughties all that meant was having the word Wales displayed underneath the channel's name. Still more than most of us got. They do have the same continuity announcers as the rest of the country, though. It's a television equivalent of a supermarket-owned brand. Although your average Tesco value product is bought out of necessity, because it's cheap, not because the bland, homogenised and spare packaging appeals to us. Not that people in marketing would believe that. But ultimately Wales, along with Scotland and Northern Ireland, although not the other two Celtic outposts, are the only places left in the country to have local television, albeit on Channel 4 in Wales's case. I mean, that's Pedwarec. Da bochi.
Holl amran tair se